Inspiration comes in so many forms, and today I was feeling inspired to try drawing emojis as mermaids. And I am so excited to show you just how it went, so let's get started! Hey magical sparks, welcome back to my channel. It's Sparkle here, and today we're going to be trying a very fun art challenge, pretty much a character design challenge, where we're going to try and turn 3 different emojis into mermaids. So let's get started. Now I am super excited to start this art challenge, and let me tell you why. If the concept of this sounds a little bit familiar, that's because you might have seen the video I made 2 years ago when I tried turning emojis into mermaids. I still cannot believe that it's been 2 years since I made that video and since I made those drawings, but to kind of just reflect back on the past and all the fun times I had with that art challenge, I decided that I would try and redesign one of these characters or kind of like redraw them in today's video. So on the left we have our mushroom emoji themed mermaid, and on the right we have our cherry blossom inspired mermaid. And this is the one I want to go with today. So we're going to try and kind of redraw her and kind of change up the design a little bit and see just how much I have improved in these last 2 years. Now let's get drawing. I'm kidding. Hold on, we're gonna do not just one emoji inspired mermaid today, but actually 3. And for the other 2 emojis, I decided to let you guys decide what you wanted to see. And as you can see, the snowflake emoji and the autumn leaf emoji are clearly winning. So there we go. Now we have got our 3 emojis that we're going to try and redraw today. The snowflake emoji, the cherry blossom emoji, and the autumn leaf emoji. What did these emojis remind you of when you just look at it directly, like in the first second? Because to me, it kind of reminds me of the seasons. Like it looks like winter, spring, and autumn, sort of. I don't know, I just think that's like a pretty cool coincidence. Anyways, as you can see, I started sketching and I immediately ran into a problem. My mermaid's tail did not fit on the page. That's when I came up with my plan. Honestly, the concept is pretty simple and basic, but it just sounds cool when I say the plan, you know what I mean? And so here we go, time to reveal the plan. Now it just feels more funny than cool, but anyways, the plan is that I'm pretty much going to go ahead and sketch out my 3 mermaids, but instead of sketching out things like their outfit, hair, accessories, expressions, things like that, I'm only going to mark out their positioning on the page, and in that way I can guarantee that they will all fit in the end, like 100% guarantee that, and also guarantee that I won't have to end up erasing a mermaid like I did just a couple of seconds ago, which sounded absolutely perfect to me. Also, something else that I decided to do intentionally was to place the cherry blossom emoji inspired mermaid, whew, that was a mouthful, in the middle. And that's mainly because the snowflake character is going to have more of a blue theme, and the autumn leaf character is going to have a bit more of an yellow, orange, and brown theme. And because of that, if you think about it, blue and orange are like on the opposite sides of the color wheel, and they're more of like complementary colors. So I thought that maybe by putting pink in the middle, a color that is like in between these 2 colors, that it would just make a bit more sense. But I hope I did the right thing in the end, but let's find out. Okay, now super random, but remember the community post I showed you at the start of this video where I let you guys decide the emojis for this video? Well, the truth is, I was kind of secretly hoping that the microphone emoji might win, and that's because just imagine designing a pop star emoji mermaid with purple hair. Like, I think that would look so cool. But it's okay. The microphone emoji clearly did not win, but I want to just kind of accept this challenge and see where these 3 emojis take us. And with that, it's time to start adding our details for these characters, starting off with our snowflake emoji character. Which reminds me, if you guys have any kind of name suggestions for the characters, I'm gonna say the character on the left, middle, and the character on the right. Let me know in the comments down below because I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So pretty much I decided not to give any of these characters any kind of expression that makes them look sad, angry, or like they are evil, just because I was not in the mood to go for that. Instead, I gave them all nice, happy expressions because well, seeing them happy hopefully might make you happy as well. And now it's up to you to let me know if I accomplished that mission or not. I really do hope this drawing brought a smile to your face. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I also decided that I would try to make all their designs distinct and different from each other, but at the same time I wanted to try and maintain some similarities, which I will explain later on in this video. But until I do, I'm curious to see just how many similarities you can spot on your own. Give it a go! Also, I'm so excited to say that yesterday we reached 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, and today we have crossed 301k subscribers. So thank you guys so much. I cannot believe we got here, and I cannot believe it happened so fast. And honestly, I could not have done it without all your support. So thank you so much. You are amazing. Okay, so I don't think that even if mermaids were real that they would wear ponytails, but today we're not going to be worrying about what is realistic and what is not. We're just going to do random things. Also, even if mermaids were real, how could they feel snowflakes underwater? Like, wouldn't snowflakes just melt? Okay, yeah, like I said, let's not worry about what's realistic, let's just worry about what looks nice. You know something? I always go through this like roller coaster every time I make one of these videos, because the thing is, when I'm drawing 3 characters on one page like this, each with different kinds of themes and color palettes, it's always so stressing because you never know if it's actually going to look nice until you color it or until you finish coloring it. And just like that today, I was a little bit worried because I liked the sketch and I liked everything, but I was worried about the coloring. And every single time what happens is, when I'm in the middle of coloring, I tell myself, let's not do this next time, let's have the 3 characters on separate pages next time. But then by the end of the challenge, I always love the end result, and because of that, I end up making the same mistake again and again and again, and it's just like an endless cycle at this point. But in the end, I guess it kind of just teaches me the lesson of trusting the process and just hoping things will turn out and trying to make things turn out. Now, if there's one thing I've learned over time, it's that when I'm drawing 3 characters like this, I find that it always helps to give each character their own specific color palette. For example, the character on the left would be blue, the next one would be pink, and the last one would be yellow, orange, and brown. And I find that this helps so much because it just kind of keeps the characters separate from each other, and you don't have to worry about having a unifying color palette that kind of ties them together, but also helps each character to kind of contrast and stand out and look different from the next. But at the same time, the thing that I haven't figured out yet is exactly how to color the hair, because I find that especially in a situation like this where the characters' hairs are touching, it's so hard to pick the right colors because you don't want the character on the left's hair to be too similar to the character in the middle. So that's something I'm still trying to figure out, but let's see how it goes. And now with our sketch done, it is time to do the line art. And for the line art, I am using this Muji pen in the size 0.38. But before that, let's go ahead and lighten our sketch. And onward with the line art we go. I wanted the line art today to be a little bit more loose, but as you can see, I am being a bit stiff. Not on purpose, but because I kind of want to achieve this art style look where the line art looks nice and loose, but it also looks neat at the same time. I'm still trying to find that balance. I've also been experimenting with my art style a lot recently. In this video, it looks the same as always, but just in general in my sketchbook, I've just been trying out different ways to draw different features and different ways to go about coloring and line art and things like that, and I'm having so much fun with that. Anyways, now with this purple pen, sometimes it just flowed so nicely and so perfectly, but at other times I was having a bit of trouble to get the ink out, and I had to go over my line art multiple times just to make sure the line was actually there. For example, you can see that happening right here. But in the end, I feel like even though it was a bit of a hassle, it was still worth it because the purple line art was like subtle and bold at the same time, and it just worked out really well with the final colors and just ended up giving the drawing a really nice soft look. Alrighty, and now we are halfway through the video, go, we are done with the line art and it's time to start the coloring. So let's start coloring. Okay, so the sketchbook I'm working in today is not too thick, so it is 110 GSM, which is great for using graphite pencils and dry mediums, but it isn't that great when it comes to using things like watercolors and markers, in my opinion. And because of that, I tried to kind of stay cautious as I was coloring the skin specifically, because I didn't want to use too much marker on the paper, because otherwise the ink would kind of bleed outside the lines, and it actually did. In the end, it did bleed into the eyes, and I had to use my white gel pen to kind of fix that. And yeah, I was just being really careful not to layer it too much and just to work quickly and just kind of keep it nice and minimalistic. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Yes, I can buy a sketchbook with more thicker paper and I can use that, or I can use marker paper. You are 100% correct. However, I have used thinner paper in the past and I've used it with markers and I've managed to make it work. So I really just wanted to try and take this on as a challenge for myself, and I just wanted to kind of try to adapt my coloring style and the way I go about things to suit this sketchbook, and in that way it also just keeps me engaged and it just keeps me nice and busy. And yeah, lesson of the day: every problem brings an opportunity. Or multiple opportunities, depends on how you look at it. So I decided to color the skin first just to make sure everything went a-okay and everything blended properly. And I also went ahead and took a photo of the line art just in case things didn't go properly, so I could redraw the drawing or just print it out and color it in again. And yeah, I had my backup plans ready. The good thing though was that I didn't have to use my backup plans, because coloring the skin went perfectly, in my opinion. I always love using a little bit of pink and a little bit of purple when I'm shading the face and the skin. It just kind of brings the drawing to life. And with that, it is time to bring in our colorful colors and all the other markers that we need to actually color the outfits of these characters and bring a lot more color into this drawing. Now, I feel like it's pretty obvious that since the snowflake emoji is blue, that we are obviously going to go with a nice blue theme for our first character. I decided to use a combination of light blues, dark blues, and a touch of purple here and there to color in and shade this drawing. And I ended up loving how this turned out for the first character, just using a lighter version of that color and using a darker version of that color to pretty much shade in the entire outfit of the character. So I decided to go ahead and implement this idea for the other two characters as well. So for the middle one, I used two versions of pink, and for the last one, I used a version of like orange and yellow, and a darker version of brown to pretty much color in the entire mermaid. Now, just one thing that I didn't like was just how much ink it took me to color and blend the tail of the mermaid. I feel like it was just a little bit too much for all of them, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I hope that it was worth it. Honestly, ever since the movie Frozen was made, every time I think of anything to do with snow, I think of the word queen because of Elsa. So then obviously I had to give this mermaid her beautiful crown and make her look like a queen. And also I decided to add some blue streaks into the hair because I thought that just might add a nice effect and also just, I guess, match the entire outfit and look of the character. One thing, however, that I was having a tiny bit of trouble with was deciding what color to color the hair. So initially I started off by coloring it this kind of golden blonde color, and I did like it, but I just kind of felt like the blue streaks weren't standing out that much. So I thought that maybe adding some shading might help with that, so I tried doing that. But then, I don't know, it wasn't looking nice. Like it didn't look nice altogether. So then I decided to completely change the hair color altogether, and here's how it looks. I think this complements the character much better, and also it just makes the blue streaks look even more beautiful. And now here are some marker sounds for you. Okay, so the reason I'm randomly jumping to color this character's hair is because I pretty much wanted to use the exact same markers and the exact same colors in the exact same way that I initially used them to color the first character's hair. Because I did really like that golden blonde kind of color palette. The only thing was I just didn't think it looked that good for the first character because she has more of an ice and snowy kind of theme. But since the third character obviously has an autumn leaf theme, I felt like that gold and blonde and brown hair would be the perfect color to color her hair. But something I forgot to consider was how much that would end up contrasting with her outfit. But again, that is a problem for future me. Alrighty, and now we are working on the cherry blossom character. And as you can see in this design, there are many cherry blossoms because I kind of thought of how a cherry blossom tree has multiple cherry blossoms, and I kind of wanted to capture that kind of element with this character as well. I think it does look kind of cute though in the end. I especially like the flower crown or the cherry blossom crown. Sometimes I love having a big mess of markers and art supplies on my desk, and that helps me to be creative, but today was the type of day where I was just kind of cleaning up as I went. And now it's time to work on our final character, and I wasn't sure exactly what color to color in the outfit, so I found this baking paper and I thought of this fun little idea, so I just kind of tried to color on top of it and roughly see how the colors would look. And this helped me so much to just test out my ideas without actually doing anything to the drawing, and it just kind of gave me a clear sense of direction as to how I want to go about coloring the rest of the drawing. Anyways, now I want to talk about the similarities between these three mermaids, some of which I have already colored and some of which I have not done yet. So firstly, if you look at each of their hands, you can see that at least one hand is holding their emoji. So the first one, we have the snowflake, which is kind of levitating above the character's hand. Then we have the other two characters holding their flower and leaf emojis. You might also notice that the tails of the characters are very similar in style, and also that they have streaks in their hair. The autumn character, not yet, but she will have some very soon. You can also see that all three characters are wearing friendship bracelets, and they are also wearing some form of headwear that matches their outfit. For example, the first character has her crown, the second character has her flower crown, and the third character has her little leaf hair tie. And finally, if you look at what I'm doing right now, you can see that I'm adding just a little kind of mini version of their specific emojis on the characters' tails as well. And those are just some of the similarities, but if you can spot any others, let me know in the comments down below. And that reminds me, if you have watched this far into the video without skipping or fast forwarding, make sure to comment this emoji down below to let me know you made it this far. And can I just say, if you have watched this far without skipping or fast forwarding, thank you so much, it really means a lot to me. Alright everyone, hold on, we're almost at the end and I'm so excited to show you how all the drawings turned out. I also decided to give this character some special metallic highlights which look super duper pretty in real life. And once I added those finishing touches with the acrylic paint pens, I decided to just pop on a couple of highlights here and there with my white gel pen, specifically to make the eyes pop and the outfits pop as well. And of course, now comes our very last step, which is to sign it off, and I think we all know what that means. It is time for our grand reveal. Alrighty everyone, here is how our final drawing turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If this video gets over 10,000 likes, I'll make another video where I try turning emojis into mermaids as well. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a like down below as well. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fabulous day. Stay awesome as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!